Good morning, stamping friends. How are you all doing today? Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how fast the weeks go, even though we're still kind of in semi-lockdown, but it's just crazy. It's Friday again already. So I'm really excited to launch another class to go, and so I'll be showing you that, and the stamp set that I'm using. I'm also going to show you a lot of other cards I've made throughout the year that I just did not get on my blog. So some of them you may have seen before, but some of them I know you haven't. So I'll show you those. And then we are going to do just a fun little make and take that's in addition to all of this, and I will put the PDF to that one online. That one isn't part of the class to go. So let's see, for starters, I'm going to show you the projects that are in this class to go. So let me flip my camera around quick. All right, just takes a second. Getting a little bit better about putting everything right in the middle. The trick is to have it close to the edge so you don't miss what I'm doing down here. Okay, so the stamp set that I'm using in my class to go is On to Adventure, and oh my, this is one of my favorites in the catalog. It didn't have any framelits or anything, but I just love all these little people in here and just the things they represent. The girl with her suitcase. I love to travel. The camera around his neck. I'm a camera fanatic. And then, well, I don't golf, but I still used him a lot. And then the little dancer girl. So these are fun little projects that I think you're going to enjoy. So for my class to go, these are the 4 projects that you will be getting a PDF for. And also I'll tell you what's included in the different options. But first, let me show you the projects. So for starters, we have a little vacation couple. Congratulations on your next adventure. And then when you open it, you see how it's not kind of like a fun fold, but there's just a different edge here. So that's the first one. There's a little palm tree cut out. I just love those 2 little guys. All right, the next one is a gift card holder, and it's the little dancer girl, and you can see that she's dancing in a studio. Here's the bar that ballet dancers use with the mirror in the background, and then when you open it, it's a little gift card holder, so you can slip your gift card in there. So that's the second one. The third one is a golfing card. We golf year-round here in Arizona, but this one is called a buckle card, and it just kind of latches in this slot, and then you open it. You can put your sentiment. The retirement one would go well, but I've used retirement so many times, so I think I'm going to save that for a birthday. So I didn't put a sentiment, but you can use whatever you want for that one. And then the last one is a little 3D item, and it looks like a little camera box, and it's got the little traveler with the camera around his neck again. And then the lid comes off. Let me show you from the side. And when you lift it, you can put whatever you want in here, but I bought these online. They're little camera keychains, and they are so adorable. Look at the back. Our washi tape has Stampin' Up! Logo, so you can put that on there or whatever you want. A little picture. Oh, wouldn't that be cute to shrink down a little picture and put the picture of whoever you're sending this to? But the fun thing is, when you push the button that would normally take a picture, look what happens. It makes a noise. I'll be quiet so you can hear it, and then a light will flash. Isn't that cool? Oh, I just love it. So I've made quite a few of these as little gifts, and you could put, little treats or something in there. And I will put the link in the PDF of where you can find these. So anyway, that's the third one, or the fourth one. That's it. So those 4 projects will be included. Now, the pricing on this one goes like this. And this will be on my Facebook page and on my blog and all the links. So option A is the stamp set On to Adventure, which I just showed you. And then also the stitched rectangle dies, which I used in every single one of those. So you will get that along with it. That's kind of a classic that you should have in your stash because it's just got every combination of rectangle. There's long and skinny ones, there's big fat ones, so I just use those all the time. So in option A, $60 will get you those 2 products plus the PDF emailed to you with the photos, patterns, and instructions. And I think this one is about 7 pages long. I make my pictures nice and big and easy instructions to follow. All right, option B is just that stamp set. Maybe you don't need or want the rectangle dies. Then the option B is just the stamp set and then also the PDF. And option C is maybe you have everything and you just want the PDF. That's $10. Now, the RSVP deadline for this is May 10th. And this is a retiring stamp set. So we are guaranteed to get these stamp sets if you order by the 15th. That's why I made my deadline the 10th. So you will for sure get them. There's no risk of them running out. And then the products will be ordered and the PDF mailed to you on May 10th, which is the last day of to RSVP for this class. And my links will have just buttons that you push. I'm using a new system this month, which is going to be a lot easier. So that's kind of the breakdown of how the class goes. One thing I want to note though is that I will not be making these in kit form. Like I'm not going to cut everything out. And the reason is because most of the DSPs, which is designer series paper that I used, well, actually all of them are retiring. And so for me to commit to cutting them, knowing that I may not be able to get all those papers, I just couldn't risk that because those are while supplies last. So if you like the paper, you may want to go ahead and purchase that. And if you would like to add on to your order here, just shoot me an email and then I'll send you a separate invoice because I can easily add anything you need on there. And then that would reflect different prices than what I have listed. So again, you may want to consider some of those papers that I used in the examples that I just showed you. All right, so enough about that class. Now we will quick do our make and take and let's see. Let me get the card and show you what we're gonna make. Kind of a new technique too. So this little guy, it's kind of like he's in a garage or maybe there's a tunnel or something going here, but I love the graffiti background. That's what I want to show you how to make, but I'll show you how to make the whole card. Now remember, this card is not part of the PDF. This is just a fun one that's super easy. So let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the stamp sets that we're using is On to Adventure, which I showed you, and then another retiring set, Capture the Good, and I just grabbed the smile sentiment out of this one. So let's get started. For this one, I definitely need scrap paper underneath because we're gonna make a little bit of a mess as we do that graffiti background. So for starters, you're gonna take just a piece of white cardstock, and this cardstock is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. All right, and then we are gonna use Granny Apple Green. So just open your ink pad. Now I'm left-handed, so it'll probably be backwards for you, but I kind of did it at a diagonal, and we're just gonna use the ink pad and just make color on our cardstock. So you are just gonna start anywhere and use the edge of the ink pad here and just go back and forth. So first I gotta hold it down here so my fingers don't get in the way, and you can make it as light or dark as you want, and then just go back and forth like that. Sometimes less is more, so if you want it darker or lighter, just you know, maneuver it however you want. If you don't like the look of it, flip it over and do it again. Let's do it again, and we'll see if I like this design better, because each and every one is going to be different. So just back and forth. All right, now let's take the gray. I use Smoky Slate Gray. And we're just going to do the same thing. If you want more gray, use more of that. Back and forth. No rhyme or reason. Like that. Oh, let's get a little bit more up here. There. Okay, I think, which side do I like? I think I like this side better. All right, the next thing It's always good to stamp before you emboss, because once those creases are in the paper, sometimes the words don't catch. Sometimes, well, for this card, it might be good because it would have more of a grunge look, but I am going to stamp first, and it doesn't really matter where it goes. It's just filling space. And this was basic gray, so it's a little bit darker and easier to see. All right, now I did make one in advance so that I could emboss it for you. So I'll show you what that looks like. And I just used the brick 3D embossing folder. So see how that is? All right, the next thing we're gonna do is take an stitched oval die, and this is the middle size. You get a square, a round, and an oval, and I use the middle one. And all we're gonna do is, I already put the dimensionals on the back, so just peel off the little backings and put that down. And what I did was I kind of set the little guy kind of where we want him, so you know about how far down to go. And just like that. So this is raised on dimensionals, and then grab your paper snips, or I use my Mongo ones that they don't sell anymore, and just trim it off so it's meets the edge of the white paper. All right, so we are almost done with that. Now this next layer is just 5 1/4 by 4, the basic layering size that we almost always use. Just put snail on the back. And then line that one up. And then the base of the card is granny apple green, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored down the middle. And we'll just do the same thing. Add some snail on the back here. And gosh, look at, we're halfway done already. Now, the most time-consuming part of this card is just coloring the little guy. So we'll set that aside. And now grab the little traveler and a little scrap piece paper, and we're going to use Memento Black. Just ink that up. And doesn't matter where it goes on the paper, because this is one that we're going to have to fussy cut. All right, now I'm going to share with you what color blends I used. For starters, whenever there's a face, I always do the face part first, and then I add the color. So this is the light petal pink, which I think is the best color for skin. We do sell an ivory, but I don't know, I just prefer the light petal pink. So just coloring him in. I'm using the smaller end because there's some close detail in there, getting around his eyebrows and stuff. So I tend to use the more the smaller end. Now the next one is the light soft suede, and again I'm going to use the smaller end. Let's just color his hat and his shorts. And man, you can barely see his shoes down here in the grass. So just color his shoes. Okay. The next one I used is light smoky slate. And I did the camera in that. Sorry if you can hear my son in the background. He has a friend here. And they do their schoolwork together. He's the only friend that we allow him to see. The next color is dark smoky slate, so you'll need both of the blends from the same family here. And we'll just do his hair. And then the next color is granny apple green. Of course, we have to get this color in here somewhere because that's the base of our card. I'm so glad this is a not an in color that we'll be losing. I love this green. It's a little bit darker than Pear Pizzazz that we've had for years. All right, we are almost done. The next one is Daffodil Delight. You can see again that I'm using all the small ends. But I have to tell you, you know when you use your blends, normally I guess I use the brush end for bigger things, but just normal wear and tear on these blends, you're probably going to run out of one end before the other. For me, I usually end up running out of the big end, you know, the paintbrush end. So rather than grab it every time and try to use it again, what I do is I take just packing tape and I just tape it shut, because I don't want to keep grabbing at it saying, oh, that's right, this one doesn't work. But it doesn't pay to throw the pen away because this one is still fine. So I just tape it shut. When I do my classes, people are like, this doesn't work. It's so funny. I said, there's a purpose for that. Well, I forgot to do his little glasses here. And we're just going to add Granny Apple Green to that. Now, I think the last one we have is just the basic black. And this one is just the blackest that you can get. And just do his glasses here like that. So, look at that. Didn't take that long. The longest part of this is just fussy cutting him out. Oh, one more thing. We got to color around here like that. And just color the whole thing in, because I always like to put a little rhinestone on for the camera, the center of the camera. So we'll use the largest one. All right, now I did cut one out, obviously before. You didn't have to watch me cut this out, but I'm just gonna add one more rhinestone because I forgot to put that on. Okay, there's our little guy that's gonna go on. Whoops, dimensional came off. I was trying to save time and put those on beforehand. So now all we have to do is add it to the front of our card. Whoops, forgot to take the backings off. 3 mini ones should do it. And right like that. We got Father's Day coming up. This will be a fun one, or someone retiring, someone going on vacation. Who's going on vacation? Which, by the way, right before I went online, I was erasing all the trips we had planned this summer and had to, luckily I put them in pencil, so I erased them all. But we had 2 big trips that we were going to take that I'm so disappointed that we can't go on. All right, I am going to have to remind my son that I do Facebook Lives because he's just being really loud in the background. All right, now I want to show you some past cards that I've done that may or may not be on my blog. I can't remember, but this was a vacation one, and it's called, I believe, a Periscope card, but when you open it, it looks like a camera shutter and goes like that. All right, the next one is just a golf card. You can do some brayering at the top to make the clouds, and I just use oval dies for that one. And then another golfing one, I just ripped the edge for the grass. Whoops. Another one is another golf one. The hole-in-one, I just went with the circle theme, and when you open it, there's a little golf ball down there. So that's another one. And the last one is, this was one of my most favorite. I did this on the incentive trip as my swap last year. And it's just a camera card, and when you open it, it looks like a photograph inside. And this one I do have directions. I did a video on this on my blog, so you can do that. And let's go back to this make and take. I forgot one little detail. Do you guys ever use your fine tip glue and just add a little bit of gloss? This will dry clear. It's kind of cloudy when it goes on, but just add that to anything you want shiny. And once that dries, you'll see that, I don't know if you can see it in my done one, but it will make it really shiny. So, oh, I didn't do it on that one. I need to add it to that one too. But here's one that's shiny. Can you see how it's shiny like glasses? So I'll add that to that one as well. All right, so let me move all this back to these projects. These are the ones that you're going to get in the PDF, and I hope you enjoy this one. Like I said, the deadline is May 10th, and watch for the link to sign up for this. And I will be launching another one in the middle of the month, but this is for the first of the month. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend coming up. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.